share those notebook with people, and people can have access and do the same thing they will be able to do. All right, so we'll start first with I'll start first with um, let's start with ones. So I'm going to start with ChatGPT first. So before I proceed, like I said, ChatGPT, you have to have a paid license. For the free license, you will not be able to create GPTs. It is called GPTs. You will not be able to create it. So I have a paid license. Actually, I subscribed so that I can walk us through this and we can all have the practical. And I'm going to cancel it later on if I see the need. If I don't want to use it, I'll cancel it. So you can cancel eventually. It's $20 per month. And Claude is also $20 per month that you can cancel. So before we go ahead, if you have, whether you have the paid or you don't have the paid, you should be able to see what is called Explore GPTs. GPTs are what we just talked about, chat specific purpose built chatbots, but people leverage on OpenAI language model to now build specific things so that your search are more tailored to what your needs are rather than a large pool of resources. So there are some that are already been built. You can always leverage on them. So if you click on Explore GPTs, in the middle, you'll see a lot of GPTs that people have created that you can leverage on, and you don't have to build your own. But the point is you will not be able to modify the settings that these people have set for themselves. The source that they are using, you cannot verify. And that's the beauty of you building your own specific purpose chatbots for yourself so that you can leverage on this. If you are a researcher, you can go to research and analysis, and you'll be able to see, especially consensus. It's been trained with literature and research works, so you can leverage on this. I think Scholar AI also Size Space also. I think we'll be using this one next week as one of the examples. So you can leverage on all of this. And a lot of them are free. You don't need the paid license to leverage on them. Some of them are not totally free. You will still need full access, a pro version to be able to access the full feature of these GPTs, because some of them are actually created so that people can make money. It's just like app stores. So people go in and create GPTs. So whatever purpose you want to serve, you can search for them here by just searching, and you'll be able to find what it is that you need. If you want to create PowerPoint presentation, you can create directly from this one, image generation, research, education, lifestyle. You can programming also. If you're learning programming, you can select. So those are all there. Now, if you now want to create your own, this is where you have to have the license. And that's why you will see here, you see my GPT will show you all the GPTs that you have created. And um, if you haven't created any, you can click on create. So we're starting with creating. So you click on create. Now it gives you two interface, the create interface and then the preview. This is where you preview what you've done. Also, it gives you two options also. Configure is if you want to build yours from scratch without, you have your name, you have your description, you have your instruction, you have your conversation starter, you have everything that you need to start off with, then you can use configure. But a good way to start is to use the create. The create lets you collaborate with ChatGPT to create a specific purpose GPT for yourself. So let's say I want to create a GPT. I can tell it, okay, the GPT that I want to create is a GPT for I have a sample of my organization's some documents that I like to use, some policy documents. So I'm not going to share this, but I'm just going to use it as an example. So I have all of these policy documents. Let me bring them up, if so that you can see them. So just give me a moment. I have policy documents. I didn't have time to download textbooks or all of that. So I have a lot of policy documents. I will put them up. So I'm going to create a policy document, whether for finance, school, board of directors, all of that. So these are the documents that I'd like to use. So my GPT is going to be specifically about policy document. Again, it doesn't matter what you want. So long as you have your resources and you're ready to use them, then you can leverage on that. So, hi, I help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visual for a new product, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. What would you like to make? So I want to make a GPT that so I'm just going to call it, make a human okay, I'm just going to say staff to the policy documents. This is um, this. So this is just an overview of what I want to do. In our last webinar, we talked about prompting, how the best way to do your prompting. So leverage on that to create your prompt for yourself. So I told it this is what I want to do. So it's going to create a sample for me, and I am able to configure those as I wish. So how does the HR policy sound for the name of the GPT? So I can say, okay, that sounds nice. So it's going to use HR policy guide as the name of my GPT. And then it's helping me generate profile image. If I don't like it, I can say, make this a photo realistic image. So I want the image to be photorealistic. Again, I'm working directly with the GPT with ChatGPT to create a GPT for myself. If you have image by yourself, you can always upload your image. Um, so it's asking if I want, I can say no. Then let's refine how HR policy should anything be emphasized or avoid, or how it communicates with staff. Staff can ask questions about any policy in the policy document. You should provide the answer and quote the policy number, something like that. So I'm asking it, when they ask question, you provide them the answer, and then you quote the policy number or whatever. While quoting the policy number, would you like to refine anything else? You can only reference the material, the policy document. So you can have this back and forth until you're satisfied with everything. You can always keep building on it, keep editing. So once you know, I don't want to adjust anything, I say no. Set and ready, feel free to test it out and let me know if you want. So now I want to go to configure. So if I test this now, I haven't given it any source. I haven't given it any document. If I test this now, it would just churn out things from outside. So let's say, can you help me understand the company's leave? So I click on this leave policy. So you see, all of this is pulling from the internet, not from the document, because I haven't given it anything. So I only ask it, can you help me understand the company's leave policy? And then it generated this. But what is it referencing? Is referencing things outside the organization. Now, I am satisfied with the way we've gone back and forth with what we need to do. The next thing is I now want to configure it. So when you click on configure, you see it's already defined everything for you based on your conversation with it. The name is HR policy. The picture is here. You can change the picture. If you have a picture you want to upload, you can upload that picture immediately, and that should be fine. And then you can use DAL-E is ChatGPT's image generator. You can create image. So description, you can always come here and change the description. An HR manager GPT that introduces staff to policy document and answer questions with policy numbers. This is the instruction based on what I have said. You can always edit the instruction. You can define what you want the GPT to do. And once you do that, nobody can change it. Now, when I did a test uh, on this, I saw some specific questions that are already default there. Those are called conversation starters. So you can provide a couple of questions for people to see, default questions, sample questions for people to ask. Now, the most important thing now is knowledge, where you can upload files. So you click on this and then you can upload the files that you need. So I'll go to where my files are, uh, and then I can upload. See, so I can upload. Um, you will see the difference between ChatGPT and Claude, because ChatGPT doesn't allow you to it doesn't tell you how far your upload has come. This is one. I've uploaded one. Let me upload another one. So, uh, let's just take that thing. Let's see. So I'm uploading as many as I can. Let's see. So you can upload as many documents. Okay, so all right. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what it can take. But a good example of the best way to do this, if I had the time, I will have merged all of this into one document. I will have merged them into one document and then upload them in. But let's just stay with these 5 documents. Do I want it here? You can decide if you want it to have the capability to browse in the web to get additional information. I'm going to say no. I don't want it to also get information using generating an image. Code interpreter, if you want, it's not a coding stuff, so I don't want that. You can create new action if you want it to either authenticate, but all of these ones are majorly for high-end customization. Maybe you want to import a resource from somewhere into it. You have your own personal server where you have all your database. You can import them in, but you don't really have to do this. Additional settings, use conversation data in your GPT to improve our model. So this is a privacy issue. I don't want ChatGPT to take any of this policy, any of my document to improve their own model. So I'm going to uncheck this. So once I'm done, um, that's it. It's updated almost immediately, and then you can it saves it. You can delete it if you want, and then I go back. If I click on my GPTs, you can see I haven't named it, so I can. Oh, sorry. Oh boy, I didn't save it. Uh, sorry, all of that effort went into. I didn't save that. I only previewed it. I didn't save it. I'm sorry about that. Maybe we'll just start all over again. But once I save it, it will be in my GPT and I'll be able to find it. But unfortunately, I didn't save it. So, but basically, that's how you create GPTs on ChatGPT. For this one, you will need access to the pro version. If you don't have the pro version, you will not be able to do it. You can always ask questions as we okay, a special needs teacher. I would look into that. How can I use it as a special needs teacher? So for special needs teacher, especially if your student, again, for you to use this, your student has to have access to devices or internet for them to be able to engage with whatever you create. So as a special need teacher, if you have a student group of students that have access to devices and they are able to use it, then you can create GPTs based on the resources you are given in school that you are using. With all the use cases we mentioned, you can create all of those resources and put them up, and the student will have access to it. But if they do not have, the best way for you to use this will be to use it to enhance your own knowledge or prepare yourself to better deliver your content to your students. So you can go get all your materials, and rather than reading through all those materials one by one, you can load them in the chat GPT. You can create a custom chatbot and continue to engage with the chatbot to get all the materials that you need or all the resources that you need or answer all the questions, summarize, create content from a pool of resources that you have gathered. That's the best. Those are the two options you have. Create a chatbot that your student can engage with based on the lessons and the resources that you have prepared for them. That's one. Two, if your student don't have access to the internet, the second one is to use it to prepare yourself so that you are able to better help your student in their learning. Is there a subscription option for educators that is free or at least more affordable? Many teachers don't have the means to pay for this subscription. Unfortunately, these companies, that's what they do. Um, if you really want to build chatbots for yourself, except if you don't want to use OpenAI, the next one I'm going to show us is a good tool that you can use. And the beauty of it is that's why a lot of people are opting out for that. We'll get to that. Let me just first do the first two that I've paid and then the other two that are not paid. And then I will expatiate more on that. Mm. But again, for ChatGPT, if you are using the Explore GPTs, they can meet some of your needs. You really don't have to do the paid. You don't have to pay for the paid version. Like I said, I deliberately paid for this so that I can show us. I've never paid for any one of them until just 15 minutes to this lecture. I decided, okay, let me pay for it so that I can show us how to use it. So once you're done with your GPT, unfortunately, what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to just create um, uh, another one, HR policy GPT, and just save it and then show it, show us how to share it so that we don't spend too much time on this again. I'll just I'll just quickly go through this, let it generate the image. I'll upload one document and then save it. All right. Okay, so this is great. Um, that's it. So the mistake I did the other time, it has put some questions. I could go in and edit it. You see, everything we've done before, I'll check this, check that, and say I'll add my file. Just going to add a few files. I'll add those files once it uploads. The mistake I made earlier was that I did not create. I did not create it. So I'm going to create. So once you click on create, it says, this is it. This is it. Do you want to publish it to ChatGPT store? If you put it on the store, it's going to appear and everybody will have access to it. You can share it. If we have time, I will talk to us about how to make money off of it. So for some of us that have students that you think what you have created can help, then you can pay for subscription and charge your students very minimal amount to use your GPT, and then you can recoup your money. That's one of the ways. But if you don't want that, you don't have to use ChatGPT. So if I set it to the store, it will appear in the store. If I click on it and say anyone with the link, then I save it. It gives me a link. I can share the links with all my students, and then they can go and engage with it. Again, like I said, your students have to have access to be able to use it. Um, One of the reasons why those ones that we talked about in the conference, School AI, Magic AI, one of the reasons why because they are tailored for secondary and primary school, is that the student don't have to have an account. They just need the link. But for ChatGPT, which is more tailored towards adults, they have to have account on ChatGPT for them to use it. So if I get this link and I share with people, they will need to have an account for them to use it. Uh, Somebody is saying I can't see your screen. If you can't see my screen, you need to maybe disconnect and connect back again. I think my screen is up. Can can everyone just show your thumbs up if you can still see my screen? All right, so a couple of people can see my screen. So if it is a GPT that you want it to be only you, then you only me. So here I'm just going to say only me, and then I'm going to save it. So once I save it, that was the error we made the other time. Once I save it, it's going to take some time to save. Then I can go back to my chat GPT and I will find it. Does it mean it doesn't show the, okay, so does it mean it doesn't show the history of the conversation in case you didn't save it at first? This is when I was creating, I didn't actually click on create. So that's why it didn't save it. But once I have created, anytime anybody engages with that with that GPT, is it keeps, because you have you have an account with ChatGPT and you are using this GPT that I created, any conversation you have with it, it keeps it as a copy of your conversation, like your text. But the reason why it didn't work was because I did not actually create it. I was in the process of creating, but I didn't create. So now I've created it. I click on view. You can see it, HR advisory policy. So I can just ask it, apart from all of these questions, I can say summarize. So I asked it to summarize all the policies. And then see, policy 4.0, 140.0, the school calendar, policy 140. So now I've told it everything you're doing is just from that document. So whether it's a coursework, whether it's a handout, whether it's anything, students can now begin to engage on that. So I can ask it, what does the policy say about dressing? We did not, you can see I only uploaded 4 documents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are those 4 policies, one policy on each document. Now I'm asking it about dressing. Let's see what it will say. You see, the provided policy does not mention any specific guideline regarding dress code. For details, for a detailed policy on dress or attire, you may need to consult a document specifically focused. So if your student is asking anything outside that resource, it will not go, because I told it to only limit to my resources. So anything I ask it about any of these policies, it can explain further to me. Um, I can say, can you provide explain in detail about the school day? See, began to break down for me everything in that policy that I didn't know. So rather than me going through books and books or reading policies, I create a chat HR policy for my educators or for my staff, and they are able to engage on a need to know basis based on that. So this is that you will always see it here. If you go to GPTs, explore GPTs, you'll be able to see my GPT. These are all the ones that are, oh, the first one actually is there. Oh, it was just time. Okay, that this is the first one. Oh, all right. The first one is there. Um, I can edit, I can delete, I can configure preview, and I can also update. So the first one is there. I think it's not created. So I'm creating it now. It saved it coincidentally, but I'm just saving it now. So I'm creating it now. Let's see where it will appear, if it will appear. Okay, so it's actually saved it. That's good. So view. So now you can see it. All right, so it saved it as a draft. I think I needed to just refresh for it to show up. So it's there, and unless you create it, it will not show up here. It's private. It's only those with the link. I didn't push it to the store. So let's see. Let me edit, and then I'll push it to the store, and then we'll see how it will look like in the store. Let's just see. Explore GPTs, my GPT. I'll edit this one, and then let me update. Okay, okay, I'm updating. I'm spending a lot of time on this. Let me just move forward quickly. Okay. All right, so I can't push it to store after I made private public. So at the end of the day, you can delete it. I will still keep it because it belongs to me. Every other one that I mistakenly create, I'm just going to delete and just keep only those two that I eventually created. So basically, this is how you build GPTs on ChatGPT. The next one we will go through is Claude. Let me go to Claude. And Claude is also paid. I love Claude because of some of the features that it has, but it's a professional plan that I have, and I just got that too today. So for Claude, it does the same thing, but there are some differences in features. Claude does not have that assistance that ChatGPT gives you, that it helps you create all of those things for yourself while talking with you. But Claude doesn't have that. But that's also not a problem. You can just you can ask it here to create a prompt for you to create a GPT that based on HR policies, and then it gives you all the examples. So create, so write. So what we're able to do with what is it? Mm, what we're able to do with ChatGPT by going to this place. When I click on create, by going to this part to do this chart, I would do that with Claude by just having a conversation with it directly. Write the prompt to create a purpose specific chat bot on HR policy. So again, with your prompting, I'm just freestyling this, but you can follow the prompt framework that we talked about in the last webinar to get all the prompts that you need. Uh, um, uh, Users can ask questions, and the chat bot will provide answers. Quote the policy number. So I ask you to write the prompt for me. So I'll just copy this prompt and use it to create my chatbot. So this gave me the behavior and everything. I can edit it as myself. Employee conduct policy, I can remove all of that. So I'll copy this. Let me open it in another tab so that I can switch from one to the other. Okay, so this is it. Now, so for Claude, if you have the free Claude, you won't see project. So what is called GPT in ChatGPT is called projects in Claude. So you click on project, and then you can also search for project if you have done projects before. Now I will click on create recently. So I'll click on create project, comes here. I'll call it HR policy advisor. All right. What are you trying to achieve? So now I go here and just copy all of this. Uh, I won't copy the knowledge base first because I have knowledge base that I want to upload. I'll paste it here. Then I'll go here and then I'll copy this one. So I'm using the chatbot to create my own prompt. Again, you can do that. So once you create the project, it comes here. Then here is where you add the content. Now you see it's private. So I go here. You can also customize instructions here. How should Claude respond? Um, you can do all of that. So I'm going to click on content. I'm going to upload from my file. So there are different options. You can add your content. If it is text, you can copy and paste it there. That you can add as many content as you want. So I'm just going to upload that. I go to download. I click on. So let's look at. I'm going to copy all of this. So the beauty of okay. So again, it's better if you have all of your PDFs merged into as many, not not several individual PDFs. These ones are just one policy in one document. I could have merged them into one big document. Let me look at this one. These are just links. All right, so I'll take this one. All right, and then all right, let's add one. Let me just add one. I think the mistake I made was I should have something. Why is it not extracting? Upload document. Let's see here. Let me look for another one. Okay, so it added, this is just the table. No. So the advantage I was talking to you about is this one shows you the percentage as it uploads the document. It shows you the percentage of the upload. So once it's done, it just uploads it. And then you just publish and you begin to chat with it. So it's as simple as that. It's the same process, but you just need to know what you want to add and how you want to add it. So let's not waste too much time on this because it's paid. And then we'll look at Poe and Notebook LM to review how we can do that with those. I can come back to this to see when it's done uploading, but that's just basically what you do. The beauty of this also is that you can take screenshots. Like I said, it's not just Word document or PDF. You can take screenshots. So you might not have the soft copy of your textbook, but you can just take screenshots of each of the pages and upload them one by one. That should also serve the same purpose. All right. One of my favorites is Poe. The reason why Poe is one of my favorites is because one, it is free. And then secondly is one of the beauty of Poe is that um, because of the way they build it, the company that makes it would liaise or subscribe to ChatGPT or Claude to use their models. So whatever you are doing here, you can choose which of the models you want to use, whether it's ChatGPT model, and you will always be able to use the updated or the most recent model. So if I go to ChatGPT now, you will see that my pro version gives me GPT 4.0 mini. That's the latest. In the paid version, in the unpaid version, you will not get this, or the Omni one, or the preview. You won't get all of this. These ones are their more recent product. So if you go to Pro and you subscribe to Pro and you decided to start a chat, so not, I don't want to create a chat first. You want to start a chat, you can choose which model you want to use. You see, this is ChatGPT 4.0, which is the same thing that my paid version provides for me. Then if I go back to uh, Claude is still uploading. Oh, very slow. If I go back to Claude, you will see that the Claude that I'm using is Claude Sonnet 3.5. That is the paid one. The paid one gives me option to switch. If I go to Pro, I can choose this one. You can decide which model you want to use. Do you see that even the ChatGPT 01 preview is there? So um, any of the model you prefer to use, you can use it there. So rather than pay for Claude or pay for ChatGPT, you can leverage Pro as a free platform and decide, okay, I prefer ChatGPT as my large language model. Then in every of my conversation with Pro, I will choose ChatGPT. So that's how this works, and that's why a lot of people use Pro. So for example, I want to ask a question, the same question that I use in building this chatbot. Let's see. Uh, where is it? A project. Okay, so this is the project. It's still working on it. Uh, show me. Okay, so I'm going to copy this same one. Then I'll go to Pro. So in Pro, uh, the create chatbot is there. You click on it, and then that gives you 3 options or 5 options. You want to create a chatbot that people can engage with. For example, you're a fine art teacher, you can use image generation chatbot. You're teaching a concept or maybe still drawing, abstract drawing, you can create a chatbot based on that, and your student can continue to engage, upload a diagram or a pictures of themselves, and it will translate or explain whatever you want to play around with concepts. You can always do that. Even video generation, create video by defining a visual and motion style. Create image by defining a visual style. So here, what we want to do is create a bot by giving it instruction, or you can actually create a character. So, for example, you can create um, maybe you want to create a historical character and have your student engage with that character. You can create that using role play, or you can define a character for them to engage with. For example, let's say my son likes Formula One. I can define the character of Tom Hamilton and put him there for him to, is it William something Hamilton, and put it there for him to engage and ask questions and learn more about that particular character. This might be good for history teachers. You are teaching history, you're teaching maybe a character in history. You can build a chatbot for that and then have that working for students to engage with. So this one that we're going to build will be prompt bot. So this is a prompt bot. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a name and say HR manager, for example. Uh, so which bot do I want? I'm going to choose, let's see what option it gives me. I'm going to choose GPT or GPT 4.1. So GPT-4 latest. So it gives you, this is Gemini. Gemini is Google. Llama is Facebook. Then Claude. Then there's Gemini. So you can choose as many bots that you want, and then just use. So I'll use ChatGPT 4.0. Name use should be unique, and all right. All right, so I'm using that. Now this is a prompt. Uh, so I'll paste the prompt that I used earlier. I put it there. Now I add my knowledge base. Again, you can add text if it is text, or you can add knowledge, select files. So let me select, let's see how long this one will take. Uh, is it that this one? Can I read this? Let's see, let me look for. Mhm. Uh, mm, yes, it's this one. Let's see. Okay, I've just look. I have a Christian book on my table, on my document. So you just upload your document. Now, do you want it to cite sources? Yes. You can always add knowledge source, additional knowledge source that you want it to add. You can always add, like I said, you can add that many. Then this is a greeting. I'll just copy this. I'm going to say hi. I, I am AI assistant specialized in AI policy. Click on advanced, suggest replies, render markdown content, custom temperatures. Now, so temperature in AI is the rate at which the answers vary with different people. So if the temperature is high, it will give very different varying answer to as many people as chat. If the temperature is low, it will give almost the same answer. In this use case where um, it's a policy, you would prefer to set the policies the temperature low so that it doesn't give different answers to different people because it's a policy. I'm working with a policy. It's a policy. If it is that it's an essay writing or lesson learning essay or coach essay writing coach or whatever other things, then you where student can have subjective ideas, then you can make the temperature high. But for this one that has to do with policy, and then it's better to make the temperature low so that people get the same information so that it doesn't tell this person something different or suggest something different to the other person. Controls the creativity of the bot's responses. Higher value produces more varied but unpredictable replies. Lower values generate more consistent responses. So you might want to keep it lower, but you can increase it or decrease it depending on what you want. The default is 0.35. So I'm keeping it at that. So the bio, I can still I'll just copy this bio. Again, you will do justice to that by yourself. Put this. Now, make bots publicly accessible. I can decide to do that or I don't do that. Relate bot recommendation. When enabled, your bot will be eligible to be recommended on other bot pages. Related bots will be also display on your bot page. If you want that, fine. If you don't want that, these are just personalized settings. Show prompt in bot profile. you can decide to do that. So if you want to monetize it, then you can monetize it. I don't think we'll be able to get to that today, but next thing is just I would create the bot, but bot name is unavailable. So I'll just say TTC and I'll create the bot. So immediately this gets created. So this is the bot info is showing there. One follower, you can share it with your colleagues. You can unfollow the bot if you want. The more follower you get, you can see it shows who created it. And here you can show prompt. These are the prompts so that people can see what was used to the prompt behind the bot. But I don't think outsiders will be able to see this. It's just you. You can remove it. You can edit the bot as you go ahead. So this is simply how you create a bot. So this gives you, because I'm also not using the paid version, I have 3,000 compute points. It works. Point per message is 300, so 10 messages a day. So that's the limitation. They give you a point. That means every message you as a person, any question you ask it is 300 points, and then you get 3,000 points because it's free. So that means you can do just 10 messages available to you. And if somebody else picks it, that person also has that 10 messages. It's not as if everybody that is using your bot will pull from this 3,000. They will be able to chat with that chat box, 10 messages, 10 different messages. That's the point system on that. So it's set to private, and then I can ask it and use so the book I used is see a friend book. I think it's a friend book that I use. You can also like and dislike. But basically, these are examples of how you create these chatbots. Um, I just used the generic example using documents that I have, but you will need to decide your documents and decide how you want your student to engage and interact with this chatbot. At the end of it all, you can also delete it once you're done. I would delete the bot once I'm done. So these are Paul gives you this opportunity to be able to create this and use these models that you will have paid for on their own. And that's why I would encourage, if you want to do things that are going to be paid versions, then use Poe so that you can leverage on ChatGPT model and Claude model or the other models to get your responses. And if you are satisfied with the unpaid versions of the other ones, you can continue to use them. So every time you want to chat, whatever chat, you can select which model you want for your chat. And that's why if you see my chats, all my chats, they are from different models. So this one I used Cloud. This one I used ChatGPT. This one I use Poe's original model itself. So you can do all of that. A good example of using chatbot in school is this is a chatbot of one of my friends' school. Um, so they put this chatbot on their website, and if you go to their website, the chatbot is a chatbot they create to educate their parents on their policy on AI within their school. So because I have a Poe account, they created with Poe. When I go to their website and I had a conversation with it, it showed up in my Poe platform as my conversation with that chatbot. And so any question I ask it, it's there. So again, these are one of the ways you can leverage on that as an institution. Create this chatbot, put the links on your website if it is parent facing. If you wanted to engage with parents, you put the link on your website, and then parents are able to chat with it. If you are bringing in students for orientation, whatever program actually, whatever thing you are actually doing, so long as it involves you communicating with people, you can leverage on this. Another use case of this will be a lot of us go to websites where you go to a website and then there's a chatbot at the bottom of the website that asks you what do you want to do. Those ones are not like generative AI chatbots. They are already predefined answers. And if you ask them questions they don't know, they will refer you to support or they will just give you predefined answers. So people are beginning to replace those chatbots with um, generative AI chatbots now, where somebody goes to your school website and they can chat with that generative AI and get every necessary information that they need. You'll have uploaded documents on your policies, admission policies, school fee policies, and all of those. Put it there, and then they engage, and parents can find out whatever they need to find out. You're preparing for orientation, you can use that. Even for professional development within your school, within your department, you are there's a document for professional development you've created. You can put it there, or you did a lecture for people. You can put it there for them to continue to engage. These are ways to make people get on demand responses to questions that they might have. So Poe provides you that opportunity to leverage on the, the models of ChatGPT and other large language models that you would have alternatively have to pay for, and you wouldn't have to do that with Poe. So that's this about Poe. Then the last one we'll go into before we begin to round up today is Notebook LM. So Notebook is tailored specifically for uh, researchers and people that maybe you're writing a book. It's a platform that allows you gather your thoughts in one place and then engage with those thoughts. And then you can create, that's why it's called individual notebooks. So let's say, for example, the same one we are doing, I'm going to create a notebook now. When you create a notebook, the first thing it will tell you to add resources. So I'm going to call this one HR policy. All right, advisor. So I would add resources. So let's add sources. Now I will go into my choose a file. The beauty of this is you can add, I think, up to 20 sources, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just try. Where's the policy? All right. So I'm going to copy all of this and add them. See, it's adding the documents. So it might take time, but as it begins to add them, it's adding them. So you get all your documents in. Another good thing about this, you can also add notes. So maybe while you are discussing or chatting with it, you can create notes for yourself and put it there, and you can always delete the notes. So let me add additional documents again. Let's see how many documents can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 documents. Let me choose another one. Here. See. Okay, it's taking it. That's 11 plus 4, that's 14. Let's just run it through and see how many it can take. All right, let's add another folder. Just let's see how many in particular it can take. Let me see this working. Put all of this. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, so it can actually take a lot. All right. Um, so first thing you are able to do is you can create a notebook guide. And if I don't want it to reference anyone, I can uncheck the one I don't want it to reference. Um, in adding your notes sources also, you can add a link, a website. You can even add a YouTube video. You can copy text. Maybe you have a document. Let's say you have a text. You can copy the text and paste it inside. Um, let's look at the other options it provides. So you can attach a Google Doc, a PowerPoint presentation, Google Slides. You can add a website link, a YouTube link, and then you can do copy text. All right, so source limit is 50. You can see it here. So I have 36 out of 50. So you can add 50 sources, which is much more than those other platforms that we have looked at. And if you see that some of them couldn't accept this document because they couldn't read it, but this one gives you 50 sources and allows you to read. So this is a very good one for those of us that have a lot of resources. Um, so those are the type of sources you can add to it. Now you can click on notebook guide and say, I want you to create for me a briefing document. And then it's going to create a note and generate a briefing document from all of those sources. So let's say, for example, you're a researcher and you have a source, you are trying to do literature review. You can highlight the two or three that you wanted to review, and then it reviews them or provides you a summary. You can copy a text, a part or a portion, and tell it to review that portion. It's taking this time because it's going through 36 documents to review the response. So there are some few things you can immediately create: study guide, table of content. So after this, I'll just create table of content. Let's see what it will do in terms of, you can see it has created the review, briefing document, Raffle American School policies. So you can see it briefed me on all of that, reviewed all 36 documents and put it there. Let's see the table of content. Now, that's that about this. I can decide, okay, I want to start chatting with this entire source. You see, here it gives you the source count. If I uncheck all and say, okay, I don't want to chat with all of the sources. I want to chat with these ones that says staff code on. So this is the table of content. So I can rename this and call it uh, table of, and then this one I can say beautiful notes. Right. So let's say I only want to discuss on, I want to chat with it, but not on all 36 sources, but just these two sources that talks about complaints and grievances. You can see it tells me I've selected two sources. So I can chat it based, I can engage it based on those two sources. How do I settle? Oh, my spelling is wrong. Let's see. How do I settle grievances? So to settle grievances, you must submit a written complaint to your immediate supervisor. The complaint must, so it gives you, and then beauty of it is it gives you the reference. You can see that it references it. So you have a lot of source that you have put together. And then as you begin to engage with those sources, it actually cites them for you. and let you know where it is picking which information from. And that allows you also in your citations, because you know this part of it is taken from this document, this part is taken from that document. Here it suggests some questions for you. What are expected standard of behavior for staff members? What are some situations that are considered unacceptable? So it gives you some specific questions, and you can always ask yourself those questions. Your chart, um, you can continue having those conversations around any of the documents you want. So this gives you that platform where you can upload as many documents as you want and have that engagement. So whether you're a teacher preparing for a lesson plan and you have several books you are working with, or you're a researcher, or you are writing a document, or you're writing a paper, and you have a lot of sources you need to work with, you can put them into Notebook LM and then begin to synthesize them. Another beauty of Notebook LM is maybe you've used different AI tools to get information on what you want to do. You can bring them all here and use Google Notebook LM to synthesize all the ideas that you have gotten from different AI tools. So you're writing a paper, you've gone to ChatGPT to extract some things, you use Perplexity to extract some sources. You can pull all of those here and use this to aggregate them together, synthesize them, and blend them all together. I can decide I want it to write. You can say in, so notes. You can also pin your ideas to note and engage and critique those notes. So let's say I have done all of this brief noting. I can now say this. Okay, I want you to critique. Help me understand. So not only can you chat or engage with your sources, after you have pulled information out of your sources into notebooks, into notes, you can then also start conversing with those notes. So let's say you pull points, reviewed every of these things, you've used the platform to get all the information you need from all your sources into different notes. Then you can also further engage those notes to get the best out of it. uh, Suggest ideas, critique, or help me understand. I can click on this one and say, um, create points, a presentation. So I wanted to create points. It's going to create presentation. You see, every chart I have, my previous chart is still there. I can also save my chart to a note. So this gives me presentation points. I can decide to save it as a note and it will come into a note. So every chart you also have, you can convert your charts into a note and keep it in a note. So it gives you different levels of engagement. You have your sources from wherever you've gathered them, you brought them in here. You can engage with the source to create a note and then engage the note to create further things. And whatever chart you have with each note, you can put them also as a note and use that all to. And then eventually I can now, let's say I have added all my stuffs together, I can now add all of that and say create an outline based on all of this, or create a write-up based on all of this. I can do all of that. So how do you send the link from notebook to others to use as a chat? I will show you that. I'll show you that. So all of this you would, again, we must understand that notebook LM is not going to function exactly like a chat, like those chatbots does, because it has its own specific purpose. But you can share it with friends, share it with colleagues, especially if it is for your students. You can share it with them also, and they can have their own conversation. What I haven't just tested is whether that conversation will be based on their account or within their system. But what I will do now just to so that we can test that now is I'll create another account on Notebook LM. Maybe I can even use that to show us how to create accounts. It's really very simple. So I'll pull up another browser here. This is Claude. All right, so I'll pull up another browser and I'll just go to Notebook LM. I'll sign out. It's still my same account, but I'll sign out of this one. Okay, I'll switch. This is I'll switch an account. I'll switch account to my Gmail, my own personal Gmail. This is my personal Gmail, and this other one is my official Gmail. So this is how it is when it is blank. Because it's Google, you really don't need to fill in all the details. You just need to connect to your Google account and it will sync and pull your profile directly from Google. So that's the way this works. So this is how it is blank. And these are examples of notebooks. So if you are trying to find out how do you use them, you can look at this example. Introduction to Notebook LN is there, and then you can leverage on that. So to create a notebook, you just click on create. So what I want to do now is I have created a notebook. Let me just open this one. I've created a notebook here. And I'll go to my homepage, and this is the notebook HR Policy Advisory. Let me now share it with, I'll open it up. Let me share. This is owner, and then I'll add, let me see. Okay, that's the point. All right, because I use my corporate account, I cannot share it with external. So I'm going to use my generic Gmail account. Uh, see, I'll copy the link. So I'll test this. Let me see. Let me see if it will allow me access it. Come on. Yes. I want to see how it will look like. Okay, so it's loading. Let's see, it's still loading. Let's see if it will give access. Otherwise, what I will do is I'll quickly just create one from this and share it with another normal Gmail account, or maybe I will share with another account within my organization that I have. This is taking a long time. Okay, this is taking a long time. All right, let me do this. I'll share with share this. Personal launch. So I'm sharing viewer, editor. Okay. So I've shared the viewer account. Uh, Let me sign out here. Okay, I'll sign into this one. Sixteen. This is the PowerPoint. Oh, forgotten this password. Oh, okay. Let me try again. 20. Oh, okay. 16. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Let me just create one simple one. Then I'll share it with a public email account, and let's see how that looks like. I'll add the source. I'll call this HR policy. I'll just add a source, add just a few sources, and then share it immediately. There is two sources. Once it upload, I'll do notebook guide. Create a notebook guide. Frequently asked questions, and then just briefing document, and then table of contents. So I'll share this with, okay, this is Gmail. Let's share this with, okay, let's allow it to finish up. So I'll share this with my other personal account. Okay, you. So I'm giving only view access um, to that account. Um, I'll sign out of this one. This is the account. See, let me just log in. I got an email. Let's see how that email looks like. So Notebook LM shared with you HR policy. Uh, so I'll click on it and let's see. I can open it. It's loading. So you can share with outside account. You can share Gmail to Gmail, but not corporate account. It's not. I can only share the one I made with my corporate account to the people within my corporate settings. But first is you have to have a Gmail to use Notebook LM, and then once you've created, there are two kinds of access you can give to people. Edit. That's if you are collaborating together, then you can give an edit right. and whoever you give edit right to can work on your document. They can edit and do all of that. But you can give a view right. A view right means the person can view everything you've done, but cannot edit. So the use case of this for teacher student is you can use Notebook LM to prepare everything with the mind that your students will be able to go into it and read. So you can prepare notes, lesson plan, workbook, everything, PowerPoint, point, everything that you need for that course or for that research that you're doing or whatever it is that you're doing that you want them to have access to. The same thing with HR policies and all of that. You could have prepared it, put frequently asked questions, guidelines, table of content, and everything. You prepare it for everyone, and everyone that logs into it, and you share it, give the link to people or invite people to join and view, and they are able to read through everything that is there. So that present them with different things that you've already prepared for them. Again, also, if you are preparing, for example, you're preparing for a conference or you're preparing for a conference, you're a keynote presenter, you could also present everything, your source and everything, prepare it in Notebook LM and create a link that anyone with the link can view. And then you share it with people or your participants, and they can go in and see different things that you have already prepared for them to have access to, links to documents, summaries, and your points and everything you want them to have. So both as a presenter, as a research student, as a teacher, you can use this to plan resources that you will pass on to students for them to use. I don't know why it's taking that long to open. Let's see. It's still loading. So this is the use case for Notebook LM. Um, it is not as well, it does not give you the same feature as a purpose chatbot that we've seen with the three platforms, but this does give you another way of doing things in that you are able to, for yourself or for your student, you're able to prepare a lot of resources, synthesize ideas, consolidate sources together, and prepare a well done presentation and different resources for them to access and to read. You can use it as a collaboration between two research partners. You have all your sources together and you're working on it together. You can say you work on this area, I work on this area, and all our notes, all our findings, all our activities are seen by both of us. Um, Another use case for this could be you could get your student to set up groups, group work, pair 5 people together, create notebooks shared with those 5 people, and you are seeing how they are working with things together as they progress. Group works can be done on this. Um, Group assignments can be done on this. So this, excuse me, this gives you those different scenarios and different use cases that we can leverage on. I think we'll just round it up here. Um, Next month we'll be looking at next month next maybe I'll just open it up for questions if we have questions. What I'll do is I would enable everybody's microphone, so if you have any question you can just unmute yourself. We have another 15 minutes to round up for today, so if you have question, I see that Jamil Odetola has raised up your hands. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Abiodun. Apologies, I joined a bit late. I don't know if you can just do a 5-minute summary of what you have done so far. It's the brisk and what you have thought of so far that I went to deliver to some of my colleagues. So it's not a justifiable excuse, but I wouldn't mind if you can just do a 5-minute summary of what you have done so far. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, sir.
All right, so okay, I would indulge you for that. If you have questions too, just let me know. But what we did today was to create specific purpose chatbots that um, rather than go to ChatGPT or Claude and ask it question, and ChatGPT or Claude and all other AI platform, they look at their own resource, their pool of resources, very huge data. They give you they pull responses from a very huge database. But with ChatGPT, with specific purpose chatbot, it is that you are creating a chatbot within those AI platform, but you are providing it the source. Let's say I am a researcher. I'm working on environmental impact on whatever, and I have gone online on all the resource. I've gathered all my resources that I want to use. Have verifiable sources that I'm confident in. Then I can create these chatbots, put the document there, and tell the chatbot that every question I ask you, all the answers will be coming from this resource. So I can do literature review with it. I can do summaries with it. So we went through 4 platforms. 2 of those platforms are paid. This feature on 2 of those platforms are paid. So on ChatGPT, Explore GPT, you create GPT and then you provide it all the necessary information. This is paid. We also looked at Claude. Claude is another example of Claude is also paid. You do the same thing on Claude. You tell it what you want it to be. We did an example using HR policy documents, and we say, okay, these are all our policy documents. You're an HR advisor, and people are supposed to ask you questions based on HR policy within the school. You're supposed to give them the policy, explain the policy, and give them the policy number. This way, you are the one providing the content. And we presented a lot of use cases as as a teacher, as a student, as a research student. You can get all your materials and create that. As a teacher, you want to do reviews, maybe and revision, you want to help your student with past question papers, you can put all of the questions in a document, upload it, and tell the AI that you are a maths tutor and you are supposed to help the student solve all of these questions. Don't give them the answer, engage them and walk them through how to solve them. I gave an example of you can get 10 years worth of jam exam sheet, jam questions, and put it in and get the AI to tutor students and help them solve each of those questions. You can actually categorize the questions into different subject areas or topic areas so that you can focus on, for example, wave, focus on respiration or different aspect of that subject. So those 2 are paid. Then we looked at 2 that are not paid, and that is Poe. You can also create a chatbot with Poe. And finally, it's all the same processes that you tell it what you want, you upload your sources, you do all the settings and the promptings, and then you publish it. Then finally, we looked at Notebook LM, which is also free. Um, yeah, which is also free, and which is what we practiced just now. So that's basically what we did today. This video will be put on the YouTube channel in the coming days, so you can always be part of it. Let me see if there are other people. Okay. Ethel Chinenye, you can ask your question.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry. Somebody said, please, you said you will teach us how to use it to make money. I alluded to it earlier on Poe, where you publish it to the store, and then okay, maybe I would because of our time, I will focus. I'll carve out like 10 to 15 minutes in the next webinar to do that, or maybe within the month um, I can do a short video and post it on the YouTube channel or on the WhatsApp group for us um, to do. So what does it mean to create a chatbot? To create a chatbot just means you're leveraging on AI and you're creating a chatbot for yourself to engage with. Um, it's just you have the resources, you have all your sources, and then you just create. So on ChatGPT is called GPTs. They are just all specific purpose chatbots that you create to just do specific things. If you chat with ChatGPT, generally it does a lot of things. It pulls resources from a lot of places. But when you are creating chatbots for yourself, you are presenting it with the source, with the resources, and you are telling it your role is a HR manager or your role is a grade 5 teacher, and you are supposed to teach this topic, and this is the resources you will use, not the general resource. You are providing it a resources that it will use. And then you can share the link to that chatbot with your student or with your colleague, or you can publish it, to the ChatGPT store, and then eventually monetize it like somebody asked. All right. Ethel, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Abiodun. Thank you very much for the insights. But I want you to please do me a favor. For instance, if you are a teacher and you are teaching in a school that don't have internet access and you want to create content that you can use to deliver your lesson and make it very interesting, you can use maybe television or your laptop to display the content. But my problem is, how do I create that content that will be very interesting and very exciting to my learners, so that while they are in school they will enjoy it. Then if I create all these ones, maybe question and send link, they can now access those ones while they are on holidays. Thank you.
Okay, so in terms of content, if you want to do, depending on the grade level of students that you are working with and depending on the topics, you can go to ChatGPT or any of these AI platform and say, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm a grade 5 teacher, I'm teaching this subject. Can you create fun activities for me, offline or online activities? And it will create ideas of activities for you and give you all the materials that you need, and then you can leverage on that. So I think it boils down to your own, what you want to do. So let's say, for example, I'm teaching I'm teaching reproduction in plants. I can say, okay, I'm teaching reproduction in plant. Give me a fun, engaging example of fun, engaging activity for my class, and it will list out multiple options. You can tell it, give me 3 examples or 3 fun and engaging activities. Do you want it to be offline or online? Do you want it to be hands-on or group? So you define what you want, and it will give you a lot of ideas. Then you can now keep refining it to get what you want. If you want to do music, there are a lot of music AI platforms where you can tell it and it will create music for you. There are some that are already enabling videos now, although those ones only do short videos. So you just need to think about what you want and then engage any AI platform to provide you ideas. But bottom line is, you know your students, one. Two, you know what exactly you want, but the AI gives you a whole lot of ideas that you can leverage on. So once you have done that, you can now create it as something. If you say online and offline, offline means they have to do it physically. Online means they can do it online, and then you provide them with the resource or with the links for them to use to access it. Chatbots might be an example of ways for you to give them access to it. Um, you can use, like we said earlier in our last reviews, School AI, Magic AI are platforms that students don't need account to. You can create these bots or these generative AI bots on all of these platforms and just give them the link. They click on it and they are able to engage with the platforms. So it boils down to what you want your school, your students, and then the question you ask the AI. Whatever it is that you want to do, it can provide those assistance for you in all of them. Um, all right. So how can this AI be useful to primary school teachers? So for primary school, again, it can help you create lesson plan, lesson note, worksheets. We've talked about creation of worksheets. If you go to the YouTube channel and watch some of the work we've talked about, one platform that helps you create a lot of worksheet is called Defeat. You want to create any type of worksheet, it creates worksheet for you, and you can download them, you can print them out, you can create them as slides presentation and give it to your student to work with. So apart from just helping you provide work to your student, it can also help you quickly do what you need to do as a teacher, your lesson plan, your lesson notes, ideas of how you can teach your classes better. For example, you are teaching a topic and you want examples. You can ask it, what are real practical examples that I can use in my class? So rather than just focus on the textbook, you can ask for other examples, practical example, playful, engaging examples of whatever you are doing, and you get an idea so that you can implement it in your class. So these tools don't just focus you. These tools first is to help you prepare to better do what you're doing. But if you now have students that have devices or access to internet, whether at home or in school, then you can look at taking it further to providing them access to some of these resources. But primarily, it is first to help you better prepare your content and quickly do what you need to do so that you can deliver your classes um, more efficiently with less time spent on preparation, but you can save more time to focus on the students themselves. Then if you now have students that are enabled to have devices and internet, then you can take it further to provide them access to some of these resources to help them at home and in school. All right. I think we're going to begin to round up now. I just want to announce just what we will be having next month as we round up. So next month would have a webinar, and the date is going to be, sorry, let me just pull up my calendar. The date will be 26th of October. It's still going to be from 12 to 2 p.m. 26th of October. And the topic we'll be having, it's not this one. I'm just putting this here. We'll be having one of my very good friend is a associate professor in Latvia. He's a professor of robotics engineering. He will be talking about, and this is going to be focused mainly on research. So AI in education, using AI in academic research, literature, and analysis. That's what we'll be working on. That's what he will be speaking on next month. Um, he will have like an hour, 15 minutes, and then I would have 45 minutes to demonstrate one particular tool. He will be working with using this with a lot of journal platforms where you research platforms and some of the capability of AI and how to use AI to do your research and literature and analysis. So that's what his name is Sam Move. We'll be putting out the flyers in the coming week, and we'll be posting it on the WhatsApp group. If you have not joined us on the WhatsApp group, please kindly join. If you also have not joined the Teach for Tech, Tech Enabled Teachers Institute, where we provide certification for all of these trainings, please join on the WhatsApp group. The link will be posted. If you are still having issues with access to your platform, please let me know so that I can guide you on how to enter. I want to round up with an example of how to how to present our assignments. Some people have completed their work, but I'm going to return it back to them because they didn't do some of the things that is expected. So within the week, the the coursework and the summary of this webinar will be posted as module 2. Let me just bring that up now so that we can. All right, let me stop sharing my screen, and then we can. Second time. Okay. I'll share my screen again. Please let me know if you can see my screen. All right, so we created this class for everyone that have joined the class. We created this class, but for you to access it, you would need the TETC account. The registration link, EDK, if you're there, please post the registration link on the chat. Please register. We have, let me see how many people we have. Okay, so we have 247 participants. Classwork. So before the end of this week, we'll see module 2 here. And then I would pull all of the resources, all of the task for module 1 will be completed also, and then module 2. So you're supposed to turn in the assignment. For example, we have this assignment that you're supposed to do. The question is pretty simple. Some people have turned in their work. So I would post all the resources in the classwork. We're supposed to go in there and read through and then perform the task that is expected of us to be performed. So module 1 is already out. You click on module 1, you will see all the resources and the work, the document and the course, and then the units and the details also is there. So we'll have all of that put together. So module 1 and module 2 will be up before next week, Friday. And then we'll have until the day before the conference, the next webinar, to have completed it. Once you do those two and you turn them in, you get 2 certificates for each of the modules. And then a collection of all those certificates at the end of the 12 modules will give us the level 1 TETC level 1 certification. The registration with the government is we're starting to do that registration so that it's a valid and recognized certification, and we trust that this will continue to grow. So please register if you haven't. If you have registered and you've not done your task, please complete your task. If you're having issues with logging in, let me know, and we'll walk you through how to log in. We have most of the conversation that is surrounding the certificate to be done within the class, and so that's why we have different channels. I'll be posting in there. The WhatsApp group is for the community. There will be less and less conversations. We'll be posting a lot of things there, but things that are specific to the modules and what we're doing in the institute will be on Teams within the class, and that is where you will find all that you need to do. Can you send the code for login to Teams? If you register and if you have registered prior to 3 days ago, you should have gotten an email with your username and password. But if you have not registered, the link has been posted there. Please register. Once you register, we will send you an email. We'll create your username and password, and you'll be able to log in and find yourself. You can only log in to this platform using TETC email address, not your own email address. We'll have to create an email for you. So please sign up with the form. The link has been posted. You can sign up. If you've signed up before, check your email an email. The email title will look like this. Let me just pull it up so we all can see what the email title will look like. So the email will look like this. The title will be, so welcome to Tech Enabled Teacher Training Institute. You see your name and then you see your username and password with the details of how to log in and access everything. So that will be here. So, but you have to register first. I see a few people have registered since the last one. We'll process that over this weekend, and you will get your registration, your access. Let me see. All right, so let me see. We have so 336 people have registered. Although a lot of people did double registration, we sort through those so that we can be sure that we don't create multiple accounts for the same people. But yeah, I think there are about 5 people. Let me see. It's still sinking. I want to see how many people have signed up since the last time that we created accounts. Then by tomorrow, all of these accounts will have been created, or by Monday, they will have been created, and we'll send them across. It's 72. So within the week also, we'll process this video, cut out some of these conversations, and just focus it on the training itself, and then post it on YouTube. Again, what we just encourage people, or what we're asking people to do, because we try as much as possible to make this free for every one of us. And what we're asking us to do is please share, subscribe on our YouTube page, and send people and share with your friends to join the WhatsApp group and join the community. And we hope that, okay, so there are about, I think there are about, yeah, I think about 10 people have signed up that we haven't sent their details. 11, 12 people. So please sign up and then we'll create your account and send it to you. So please, Idiki, can you post the link to the YouTube channel in the chat? Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch all the videos there, invite your friend, and just spread the news of what is happening and the lessons and the impact you have been, the great things that you are learning from the platform. And we hope to continue to impact every one of us and to learn together. So I think if there are no questions, I don't think there are questions anymore. We'll just call it a night. Thank you for every one of us that attended. And I wish us a very wonderful weekend as we go ahead. Please look at the chat groups for all the conversations. Join our WhatsApp group if you haven't joined. And I hope to see you guys next week. Next month. All of our conversations will be on the WhatsApp group and within Teams for those that have joined. Okay, I think Yusuf, you have a question? Okay, you've raised hands down. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you so